live, so you can come to speak. And the stage is yours. Let's go.
All right. Hey guys, I'm South. Currently, I'm developing the Discord bot. Some commands are already live. And basically, I want to keep expanding and would love to have your input in what is important. What would you like the bot to do? What kind of functions are needed in order to become a better NFT trader? So yeah, I would like to hear some input from you guys.
So I've made I did a form and some people answered this. Or maybe I can read you the answer, or if
Yeah, sure.
so first one, we want like invite bots would be nice to have. A bot to chat in servers to get whitelist bots with experience. Minting bot. Could we do one like Silk that the people that pitch in on can use it?
Okay,
All right.
so maybe I think South, you were trying to do something new for the invite bots. Maybe you can talk about that a bit if it works.
Yeah, Fantasy found a new way, and I will check that very soon. Basically, the problem is that Discord banned accounts that were joining a lot of servers. They can basically see that you're not a real user, and we have to play with the headers in order to make it work. So we won't get banned, and yeah, then we can actually roll out the whitelist bot. That would be super awesome for sure. What were the other things, Atom Boy? Because it was quite a list.
And where are we now with those? Are we ready to reboot the invite bots? Will it work, or you didn't do the testing yet?
No testing yet.
Okay.
Alright.
So as long as we cannot bypass the new restrictions being put by Discord, our current invite bots will be still on hold, but we keep looking. And as soon as we find an exploit, definitely we will put the full force of those invite bots back on the server. There was a question about minting bot. Actually, I just talked to Dad Jokes about it. We might have an opportunity to get a Discord bot that we can share with all the people. And there was another question on what was the last one, Atom Boy?
So we had two whitelist spot with experimenting bots, and can we do one like Silk that the people that like one like Silk, we can use it like I think more.
But that's minting bot.
Minting bot, yep. Like we had also other inputs like automatic Discord scrapper of keys to do.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Want to scrape the tokens? What is the ID?
Automatic Discord scrapper of key to dos, and that. Let me check who. That was Aligoram. Aligoram, are you there yet? Maybe I'll bring you on stage and you can explain what you meant by that.
Hi, Aligoram.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Hey, so that was more around, I don't know if it's even possible, but you have so many Discord notifications and some of it is like manual in terms of putting it into the spreadsheet, like here are the mint dates and here's what the cost is, etc. So just a way to kind of automate that so that we don't have to put it into the spreadsheet ourselves.
We are actually doing that but maybe Dumplings can talk about it later, but in our minting list on our tools section, that data is automatically populated and updated.
Okay.
So we're actually scraping some other sites to get the information, aggregating it, and then updating our information. People can still manually correct and give input in addition to it. but we're using a scraper that actually South wrote to update that information on our minting list.
Awesome. I'll look out for that.
Yeah. So if anybody has any specific questions on the bots that South deployed in the server, which is basically the alerts, you can ask them now in the no mic, and then afterwards we'll give the stage to Dumplings a little bit. But before they ask the questions, South, maybe you can explain some of the new features you're working on for those bots.
Yeah, well, currently mostly are the floor alerts, right? When the floor moves up or down, when you want to buy or sell. Currently, I'm busy with a mint alert, so you can follow certain addresses, and whenever they mint, you will get the alert. And also, when you receive a floor alert and you have you're following a collection that you actually own a few NFTs of, you can basically with one click you go to the OpenSea sell page, and that is pretty awesome. And I think that will be pushed tomorrow. So that is the newest feature, yeah. And I really need more input because create a mint bot that will take some time. And if there are other features, well, maybe I can implement them faster. But I really want to know what the other people need.
To maybe explain the feature you just mentioned. So today you have the floor alert bot. In the future, you will be able also to give the wallet you own. You just paste in the address, and then, for example, let's say you own a collection of, I'll give a random example, moonbirds. So if you want to get a trigger alert on moonbirds, if you get that alert and you give your wallet that when you get the alert, it will automatically list all your NFTs and their floors. So you can directly click and go to OpenSea to list them up for sale. So that's a convenient time-saving feature that we're building in. But any of those Discord alert bots that you have, or if you have other ideas, like if I could have received this alert based on a collection or based on a trigger on a collection, that would be really useful. Let us know and we'll try and build it. Right now, those alerts are all put in a channel, but we're investigating either a DM possibility, and I think we were looking at another possibility also, South.
With threads, yes. So that's also good feedback. How would you like to receive your alerts? Is a DM better, in a channel, or indeed in a thread? What is your preferred method?
Yeah. So the threads, how it would work is basically a private thread would open that's only visible for you, a bit like our ticketing system, and then we can put that on top of the Discord. So when you enter the Discord, you see all your alerts in the top. So that's one possibility. Another possibility is a DM. We can even look at maybe some Slack integrations and stuff like that. But we're really, I mean, the more input we get from you guys as to what you think is going to be really useful or would make your life much easier in terms of trading or getting alerts and notifications, the more input we get, the better and nicer things we can build for you guys. Or at least Soft can build for you guys. I don't have the skills. So we'll keep monitoring the no mic channel for questions. And while you guys think of questions, maybe Dumplings can do some updates on where we are with the whitelist and the mint list system. So floor is yours, Dumplings.
Yeah, hey guys. Dumplings here. Sorry I'm late. I think the summary here is that, and I'll be pretty candid with you, we built the tool that we wanted to use, and I checked the stats, and it's not being used that often, and I can't figure out why. So I'm asking everybody for help on why do you prefer the sheets Do you think anything's inaccurate? Could it be as simple as I never showed you how to use it and the UI UX just isn't there, right? Whatever the reason is, I would love to solicit feedback. If anybody has any questions or has any comments, like I put it in the original thing, I added a button, maybe none of you could tell what it was, right? So maybe, unless there are any objections, I can share my screen. I can show you which, how I would use the tool and how I have been using it. Or is it just as simple as everybody filling out the Google form, right? In the meantime, since I quote unquote launched and I sent that message out into the Discord, I've been working with one other dev to essentially rebuild it to make it faster to build on top of. But I haven't actively, you probably noticed I haven't actively been pushing any updates because the usage has been low. So typically in a software development cycle, I would look at analytics, I would see the user behavior, I would look at where the drop off is, and I would iterate there. But because of the lack of usage, this is what we're resorting to. I would love to have any feedback. There's nothing you can say to hurt my feelings and make me want to quit. But I just need to know more so that we can improve before you. So at the end of the day, the tool is for the community, right? It's not for dumplings and almonds and cake, right? So I guess I'm going to take a look in the VC chat and see if there are any questions. If not, I'll share my screen and I'll go through some of the features. Yeah, definitely not. Okay, so why don't I share my screen? And
You cannot in
an
AMA.
In an AMA you cannot.
I can't?
We have to go to
boardroom.
Let's all jump to boardroom and then we can at least share a screen and demo the tool.
I'll go back to the AMA, make sure everyone's coming in. For the guys in the audience, make sure to move to the boardroom. Dumplings is gonna... Make sure to go to the boardroom. Dumplings is gonna share his screen. So Oblivious, Synchro, Stellar, the 5229, Barken, BT Dodge. Make sure you are in the boardroom. We're moving there so we can see Dumplings screen share.
Couple more.
Yep. And to react for those asking for those tutorial, make sure you like subscribe to the YouTube channel. We actually I'm uploading everything there, and we actually have a playlist with already like 6 tutorial about the tools. So yeah, make sure to go there, and you'll have already we have the one with the sharing alpha. We have the recent one from Dad Jokes with the gas fees one, the min calendar. So yeah, but we'll definitely create a channel to post them there. I posted in normal.
Give it about 30 more seconds,
yep.
And then I'll start. All right, that was enough silence. So what this is, right, and please ignore, there are a couple things on here that are admin-only features, like once upon a time, or I built something for people to upload multiple projects at once. We're saving that for team members for now. The calendar doesn't work, and profit and loss is a feature to be coming soon. But this is what most people hopefully are using it for. Right? So as it says, this is upcoming mints. This should be auto-populated based on the sites that we scrape, right? This would be one area. If anybody else has an idea of what an upcoming NFT, like a non-minted NFT project API that is reliable or even somewhat reliable, then just shoot a link my way. I'll research it and see if it'll be of use to us. But let's say I'm actually on the whitelist for Kooks, right? If I want to follow it, then it will show up in the whitelist game section here, right? I am on this. I did win whitelist. I believe I have the role. I don't believe I've done this wallet submission right. So this is something that I would love to improve, like know the exact mint and all that directly from Discord. Right? But the point of this game is for me to keep track of the progress and the date in which things are happening. So I know 5 realms happens in 10 days. Sorry, time is over, so I could just delete that or stop following it, right? But in each edition, we will try and make it easier for you to keep track by the main section would be the actions taken. Then if someone were to include the announcements for in Discord with a link of what you're doing, right? So for Kooks, something like this, I'll do this in real time. Let me see. It is here. Yes. Large. And then let's say this was the role acquisition URL, right? If we save it from that edit view and I go back to whitelist game, right, that should be populated here. So information is available, check how to complete the steps. So maybe this is another UX assumption that I made that wasn't good enough. And I'm perfectly happy admitting it. It's just, it's not obvious enough that information is available to you versus it's not, right? And then if there are any other links that we had, then we're going to put it here. And another assumption that I made was if you had an issue, you would click that button, which should bring you to the Syndicate Discord, to the ticketing channel so you can create a support ticket. But again, that may have not been super obvious, right?
You hear me,
We try. Huh?
Can you hear me? Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can you click on the I for role info? Because I'm not sure it's clear for everybody.
Yeah, so that I is now the URL that I just pasted into the project, right? So, and that was actually be a link to the message from the Kooks Discord itself. So another idea that we
can you show it?
Go ahead.
Can you show that?
Yeah.
Can you show it? So basically, the purpose of those two features is to link directly to the project's Discord, where you have information on how you can get your whitelist law, or if there is a special announcement on where to submit your wallet. If one guy copies the message, pastes it in there, everybody has access and can directly have that information. Plus, you will also see it, because if the eye is black, it will show up for everybody. The same with whitelist. You see, it says whitelist 2, role 2, wallet 1. So it means 2 people already got the whitelist, 2 people actually already got the role, 1 guy already submitted his wallet. So you can actually see if you're behind or not. And in a later update, we plan to get like color coding. Like if you're running behind, for example, you only did the whitelist, or you only got the whitelist, but you didn't submit your role, you didn't submit your wallet yet, but everybody else that is using the system is already on that step and you're behind, that line would show in red. So you have a visual warning that, watch out, you're missing 1 or 2 roles to get your whitelist completed. So really, we put a lot of time and effort in making this a system that not only allows you to manage your whitelists, but also gives you alerts based on where the rest of the community is at. So it's really, that's why it's partially crowdsourced, because the more people start using the tool, the better it will become, because you will understand If you're behind a couple of steps, you will have the shared information, like if you need to do something for a role, where you need to submit your wallet if that is needed. All that information will be available. Well, somebody always needs to put it, but then all the rest will benefit. So that's how we envisioned it. And also you have the opportunity, I'm rambling now. You have the opportunity to add it to your calendar. I don't see the calendar function here. You have to scroll. So if you add any whitelist to your calendar, it will link to your Google Calendar. You can put alerts, you can put notifications, so you don't need to forget anything anymore. So I think those are really nice features that will make it better for everybody. And I'll let Dumplings explain the rest.
Yeah, and this demo has actually brought up another issue, right? So we're doing our best to make it the least amount of effort for any of you, right? And you can actually see in my own list, I have a duplicate, Kooks and Kooks NFT, right? So right now, I think something on the roadmap is the dupe identification, but the trouble is that because these contracts, these mints haven't happened yet, you can't just do it based off of the contract like OpenSea does, or we can generate a collection slug, which is what you see in the URL, but if they happen to change their name, then we're fucked. So that's something that we're changing, right? Maybe I think one thing that might not be as obvious, and I think is super helpful for people using the tool, is you can actually see, start over. You can actually click on filters here and then go to columns, project, and I can actually search. This is essentially search, right? So I can see quickly that there are two groups, right? One has slightly more information. You can see I have a website, I have a Twitter. And I think that would be more helpful surfacing projects or seeing if we already have the information, right? And then the next thing that I'd like to explain is this score, right? This is, if those of you are familiar, it's kind of like Product Hunt. It's a basic upvote, downvote system, right? But this should be giving you what is the sentiment across the syndicate for this given project. That's the point of this, right? So let's see, we've gone over the score, we've gone over searching. This search is multiple or filtering. You could even look at specifically just the projects that have been part of a syndicate whitelist, right? And that's what you can see here. So you could theoretically say, I just want those with the lowest supply, highest supply, highest score, right? This tool is meant to be a more powerful sheet. And if you feel like something's missing, please let us know so that we can help. And at least we can have a conversation around how I can build it, if I can build it, if we do need to build it, what resources we need, right? We don't want to make the same mistake that I feel like we did with the first iteration that we built for ourselves. And I made these judgment calls on what needed to be done and what didn't without communicating with you more.
Here we have like the input from Synchro already about the search bar. Like he was asking for one, but I mean neither. I don't know, like not using the filter, so maybe make the search bar more apparent, maybe on top, and so we can reduce the click. And
for sure.
And Kev saying, not sure how difficult it's to implement, but dark mode would be great.
Oh man, I have an item for dark mode. I get it. Yeah. Yeah. So they're telling me the exact same thing, and I wish it were easier, but yeah. Okay, that's noted. What was the thing before?
If we can get 50 people to use it on a daily basis, we'll go for dark mode.
Thanks, King. Thanks for that. Yeah, sure. 50 DAU. We'll go with the dark mode. You heard it here, and this is recorded, so I have to do it.
So one of the things.
And then there's also, sorry, there's one more thing, I just to prove that I do listen, although I am not prioritizing it, is the responsiveness on mobile. I know I had a request early on for that. It's just, it hasn't been a priority because I haven't thought of a good way to consume all of this data, from title to prices to dates. It's a lot of that to see on a small screen like mobile. So I don't want to oversimplify and rush out a version like that. But speaking of Synchro could end up helping us on that front because he is a UI UX designer. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was reading BT Dojo's question. How do we know which ones are the ones that got whitelisted? So indeed, you just have to heart them or like them, and they end up in your private list. But in the next iteration of this whitelist management tool, we plan to build our own raffle system. So we will no longer be using pre-mint in the near future. We will have our own raffle system, and if you win the raffle, automatically all these projects will come into your own list. So that's going to be easier also for everybody and should help more people to use the tool actually, because it's going to be more convenient.
And since you're talking about whitelist with an input, like about the holder of several masks, is there's like gonna be something soon for them?
Once we build our own system, if you own multiple masks, at least if they're in the same wallet, you should receive double entries or triple entries or whatever for that raffle.
Perfect.
That has always been the idea, and unfortunately, pre-mint does not allow us. So we'll just build a better version of pre-mint. No pressure on Dumplings and the team, but
yeah, no pressure. Thanks, guys.
But really, I mean, like a lot in the syndicate, we built everything and we tried to give everything for the community. So the more people that use our systems, the better we can make them, and at least the more feedback we get, the better we can make those systems. We're definitely not building this for us. We're building this for all of you to make your lives easier, to give you benefits when trading, etc. In this case, it's to give you benefits when grinding whitelists. But really, the more input we get and the more feedback we get on why certain things are working or not working, the better the tool will become. So if there are questions, suggestions, we'd love to hear them now, of course. So yeah, I think people don't need to come on stage. It's just a regular VC. So
yep, I have someone just put an input in the forum. Something like the basic NFT nerds feature to get a real-time view of listing that can be sorted by price and rarity and recent sales, but without having to pay NFT nerds price.
Yeah. Sorry, where was this?
No, it's just like I did a form. I can send it to you with, so you can have all the inputs to Dumplings. I'm gonna send it to you in DMs, and yep, here you go.
Sorry, I'm responding to BT Doge. Somebody's saying like Conian or listing holder reports. My goodness, something basic like that information. And dealing with this nice. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. On each collection. So now we're talking about moving away from whitelist game mining, and we're talking about secondary trades. That seems right. You want to see real-time view of listings sorted by price and rarity. Yeah, that's possible. Okay. But is that use case in the, I don't know, call it mayhem after the initial mint, or you want to see, say, an established project and go through there, right? I would imagine that needs to be a performant, time-sensitive system. Ninja, if you're in here, please speak up so I understand. Ninja, you in here? Right now. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'm taking a look at these. That makes sense. You can give it a shot. I think, depending on the feedback today and how everything's going, we'll try and iron out some of the rougher edges of the whitelist game. And then, as King said, we're crushing, we're trying to compete with pre-mint. And then we have the secondary trading tools projects. So maybe something else that we could do amongst the communities, there could be a poll on what sounds more interesting, a pre-mint collector or a better whitelist game, or start building secondary tools, right? Because unfortunately with a small team, we need to prioritize. So, but again, your feedback, the community's feedback is paramount. So you should definitely collect that in a more organized fashion. Cool.
I see some questions, Dumplings, about the batch upload, but we have that already, no?
We have the batch upload. That's for admins only, and the reason why that's admins only is because the CSV needs to be formatted a certain way. That's pretty easy to open up, right? That's just like a toggle with my code, but I would need to think through a way to say, like, please use this type of format. Because the way that the code works, it has to be a specific string, otherwise it won't know which column in the database to map to, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Plus duplicates, I guess.
Duplicates, stuff like that, checking, because you and I talked about duplicates, we could just use a Twitter URL, so we need to implement something like that. But yeah, the bulk uploads, like ideally nobody in the community would have to keep their own spreadsheets. Ideally you could just ping me and then I can make a change or triage it for you. And we can all use the same tool so we can learn. And let's say Doge had a better system than we did, or Aliogram had his own thing, and it's best to culminate and combine everybody's good ideas, right?
Yeah, and while Google Sheets are handy, what you don't have is the shared knowledge on them, and that is really the biggest benefit of a tool like this. So if anybody has questions or suggestions, please feel free to either use the no mic or just take the stage and ask your question. Whether it's on the things Dumplings is doing, or the things South is doing with the bots in the floor alerts. We have a pretty big group in VC, so ask your questions. Text input for wallet address, I think we were looking into something like that, Dumplings.
I'm confused as to what the intention is versus connecting your wallet and seeing your whitelist based on that.
I'm guessing it's multiple wallets, but like if you're
multiple wallet support and trying to, I see. Sure, multi-wallet support. That's going to be tough.
Because people sometimes use burner wallets, or they were like for Moonbirds had like several whitelists. So you want to track the different wallets, I guess.
Okay. We do have multi-wallet support on here. Yeah, multi-account support. Oh, okay. Hold on. I have that for profit and loss. DJ wallet for less known projects. Yeah. Sadly, I just set up my own hot wallet, so now I know the pain of needing to do this. Let's go. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. It'll probably be. We think. I mean, it's not. I'd have to think through the security of that. Like, you wouldn't. I don't want it to become just any way for me to monitor other people's wallets. I'll probably ask you to connect via the MetaMask, so through a Web3 library, right? To prove, to the best of my knowledge, that you own the wallet. Okay, let's see. Knowing how difficult to implement would be possible to have a personal comment sort of fields. Great comment, Kev. That is something that was coming up. Sure, personal comments. There's personal comments, and we talked about public comment threads. But let me make sure I have that here. Comments. Yeah, here we go. And also put it in progress. Sure. And then we can write for ourselves there where we got for how many and which wallet you registered, cover all little things. See. That's one more thing. The source. I believe, did I push that? I should be. Let's check. Yeah. So I do have a source column in the table for you. So if and when you go and edit it in the game, we have thought about that. Where you got it from. And I realize I'm not projecting anymore, but it is in there. But definitely personal comments would be helpful. Next. Well, probably be able to add last name instead. Which wallet is? Yeah, Synchro. I think what will happen is just like when you click into OpenSea, and then you have all these checkboxes for all of the wallets attached to your MetaMask. I'll just allow you to check those, right? And then it'll probably just be a drop down. You could maybe just a toggle that says all wallets versus this wallet A, wallet B, wallet C, and so on. Again, I just don't want the feature to be abused to monitor other people's wallets as much as possible. That's my only hesitancy on the text input. And all of these answers and comments I'm giving you right now are 100% off the top of my head. So if I'm wrong, happy to have any debates. Anything else?
Don't see anything in the chat right now. Can we see which agent ticked the whitelist?
So that's a more general question. So the short answer is no. But what we could do, and what I've played with in the next version of the whitelist game, is connecting your connecting your Discords, right? This is more a conversation around similar to how I pinged everybody and said, like, hey, are you cool if I wired analytics? Of course, this would be an opt-in feature, but I wasn't sure that people would want to connect their Discords to their wallet addresses. I know you do the same thing for pre-mint, but this would allow other people to quote-unquote spam you. And that's why I didn't do it. But if the community felt like that would be useful, like if I could see the other 7 people that got the whitelist roll for the Kooks collection drop, and I could ping them, maybe, I guess, if we got more feedback. Technically feasible. Everything's is 100% doable. I'm just worried about inter-member spam, I guess, because I can't keep up with all these notifications from Discord. Oh, he's typing. Let's see. No, don't ever apologize for the questions. Yes, when someone knows new info on a project with a ping all, we will know to do whitelist add. So are you, Doge, is this more like in addition to the announcements that are made by the alpha callers, you want somebody to be able to, I don't know, do a community-wide push through this tool to say, hey, wallet info has been, a wallet add link has been added to Hoops. Hey, I found the Twitter or the pre-sale price has been announced, because that seems overkill, in my opinion.
Yeah,
In terms, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
sorry, I want to start like really quickly just to make it clear. Hello, guys. Yeah, like for example, I was thinking that if if there's a project and everybody like goes and starts filling that each project's role, then the main thing that I got when I am doing this spreadsheet that I got is that not all the projects publish on time their mint, their pre-mint or their max mint. That's another thing that I don't know if it's already there. I think it is. And the rest of the info, the mint details, they just release it like maybe a day or 2 days before the pre-mint, and that's the big thing that I got that I missed those pre-mints because you have to be like on the clock for it just to see when they publish. So if there, so there's a way like in this project spreadsheet that we're doing in the website that whenever I like hover around on top of the tick, I can see like an emoji in Discord. Like when you long press it, you see who pressed that heart or dart Pepe or whatever, something like that. That I know that it's difficult for you guys maybe to do it, or to see which ones are there. So, or maybe when I input some more information, everybody on that row will get a ping that while this has been added. Okay, let me add mine.
Yeah.
Asking too
It's
much.
not
I know. I know.
technically. It's not technically. No. Please don't ever apologize for asking a question. It's not. It's not that it's technically hard to do. I think it's more. I'm worried about people adopting it and saying, not only am I adding this action, but yeah, you can contact me on Discord via DMs, right? Because that also opens you up for phishing. People are going to impersonate each other, send each other shitty links. They're going to send like tools to .syndicate893.com or some shit like that, right? But we can try it. And Synchro actually just said, like, what about a product's feature roadmap, like voting system? I think that's interesting. If you have any existing platforms that you know of, I can't name it off the top of my head. I'm happy to check those out because that's pretty much the whole point of this call, right? To get feedback from you guys and know what I should be building. We need this last. Maybe we can make something to track potential airdrops and their requirements. That's really interesting too. That would also be probably crowdsourced, right? But happy to do it and discussion. I think that's really interesting. I don't know how many pending. Maybe I'm not enough of a DJ. Like I don't know how many pending airdrops there are at any given time. But free money's free money. If we want to keep track and make sure we don't lose that shit, then yeah, we can definitely build it. Okay. Let's see the existing platforms. Yeah, so Synchro said that. But Doge, does that make sense? Like, I could build it. I don't think it
Yeah,
would
yeah, I
be
do.
that hard. I just don't know how many people will connect their discords.
Yeah,
Right?
like I know for sure that if I don't know, maybe the cooks like if there's 20 or maybe 30 agents whitelisted for it. I think nobody will mind if they got a ping to let them know that whitelist has to been submitted because one already have added it,
Yeah.
and that's something that I wouldn't care if they ping me for it. Like either ping me or I'll lose my spot. So that's the thing. And the other thing is that I don't know if the things that I'm just suggesting or asking is easy or it's hard for you. Like I'm not a dev. I don't know. Maybe you say, well, it's so easy. I can do it with no problem. Or it's something like just to hover on it and see which ones have done that check for whitelist. It's going to be so hard. Well, that's okay. I'm just giving suggestions and things to have a better, spreadsheet.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, Kev's already commented on what you're saying. That's why I'm here. I will tell you if what you said, what you're suggesting, is harder to do than you think. For example, somebody pinged me. We just talked about dark theme. There's so many stupid reasons why that's harder than it should be because visually and UX wise, we just hit a switch, and what's white is now black, and what's black is now white. But it's such a pain in the ass, and I don't know if I'll do it. We said it 50 DAU. I'll get it done, but I'm happy to tell you if something's disproportionately hard to what I think it brings value for. So yeah, Kev's got a good example. Kooks is an OG role, right? And I heard about it in this Discord. I clicked it right away. That's why I got it. But there's probably subsequent raffles, subsequent systems that you need to keep track of. This is my job to figure out where the intersection between feedback and what's feasible. And
Exactly.
And I will do my best to be as transparent as possible. I'll tell you if I'm not going to listen to you, this is why, and this is what I think it is. And if you ever want to debate it, happy to do it.
Yeah, no, that's it. For me, that's all. I think it dumps.
No problem. Please don't call me dumps. That means poop.
Dumplings. Sorry. 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 Once I said it, I regret it. So sorry. So
That's
thank you, dumplings.
It's cool, man. It's cool, man. All right. Anybody else?
I don't know if you saw the comment of Synchro, but like the roadmap feature where the members can vote which feature suggestions they want to have immediately and they like the most, so it maybe can help your job with the prioritization.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, sorry, I spoke too fast and rambled too long. Happy to take a look at it. It would help me a lot. Okay, I gotta run soon. I got another meeting for my real life job coming up soon, so
No worries. I
we'll
see
squeeze
like,
one more in.
2 more people are typing. And guys, just a reminder, as like Dumpling said many times, just if you have questions, suggestions, just ping him in the Discord, send him a DM, open a tickets. Like there's many ways to contact him and like the dev teams. And yeah, make sure you
Or me.
yeah, or King, like any one of the Oyabun, Sanyo, Wagagashira, like all the stuff from Syndicate. Just like don't hold your question and suggestion. There's no like dumb questions. Just come and ask straight.
And in the floor alert bot, Salt made me put 2 extra channels. One is called updates, the other one is feedback channel. So if specifically on the Discord bots you have suggestions or feedback, please put it there.
All right, cool.
Thanks.
Kev was typing it, but it seems like it was just a thank you. So I gotta run, guys. But just ping me if you need me.
And let us
All right,
know.
thanks everybody for the feedback.
Yeah, and I hope a couple of more people will start using the whitelist game and the mint list, so we can gather more feedback. But let us know. Try it again if you didn't use it before. See how you like it, because that's the only way that you will gain an experience with it, and that you can come up with maybe ideas to improve it. So we all benefit from it a little bit as well. So thanks all for joining. I'm going to see if I can still find something to eat around here in beautiful Switzerland, and then catch you guys later.
See ya.